It had been 3 months, I think, since I had started. So the way I describe it is I barely even knew where the bathroom was.
Sunday, we found out that Italy was going to inform all schools that on Monday they were going to use meat.
We all had this like, what? A single customer with 10 million users?
Spain showed up, a week after that. People building spreadsheets to track COVID testing. Companies shifting their workforces overnight across the globe.
Are we prepared for that responsibility? Do we have the resources for it?
I'm a sucker for a really hard problem, right?
Gmail, Calendar, Meet, Docs, Editors, Drive, all of these things saw incredible growth.
Over 2 billion people, that blows my mind. Those are entire continents of people we're talking about.
Almost like a tidal wave, right? Starting in Asia Pacific and then sort of moving through Western Europe that would otherwise clobber any other company, right? Like the amount of infrastructure and the amount of video meetings we were serving.
We're talking like, 7 billion minutes that users spend per day.
All our systems are at capacity.
The engineering team is working basically 24/7 as we make on the fly massive architectural changes.
Why? Because people were needing to connect, in a different way.
We need to evolve our point of view about not just providing these individually great products, but actually about how they fit together. What is that shared purpose? We came up with the name Google Workspace, which I'm incredibly excited about.
This is a workspace where teams come together and collaborate and make magic happen. And that's why I think it's critical that we understand the philosophy behind the name.
With this launch, we're actually bringing all these tools together.
And this is, I think, the real opportunity around our hub efforts.
Humans don't think in these sort of siloed ways.
For all the complexity that's behind, the simplicity will actually show.
That's the idea behind Workspace.
It's something else. The button, the imagery, the creatives, they actually tell the story of what we're trying to do.
That's what makes our products different. The craft and the care and realizing that we're giving something to somebody, not just functional, but also delightful. I really hope people like it. We have the nod to this, connection and different layers of products coming together, but we also have transparency.
And so what we've seen is this incredible harnessing of Google brought together in one place that a customer ends up experiencing in such a simplified and compelling way.
This is about the people on the team who did the work to make this happen. I'm so lucky to work with people for whom this is so personal and this matters so much.
This is actually probably the single biggest engineering endeavor that this organization as a whole has had.
On top of maintaining and growing the rest of G Suite, which was growing at an astounding pace because of the intense move to work from home.
How do you even pull that off?
We went to all these other organizations within the company, everybody, and we said, folks, this is it. Like we need help.
This wasn't one team, this was the entire org who set aside what they wanted in order for us to get this done.
It's going to stay with me forever.
It reminds me of a scene from the Apollo 13 movie. I think it was like a sphere and they have to fit it into like a rectangular, container. It's like, impossible. That is how I felt throughout the journey multiple times.
The last few months leading up to this massive moment, you see people working around the clock because of, the excitement, the dedication.
We owe it to the students that rely on this product, to the businesses that kept running because they had these products, and even to the individual people who stayed in touch with their loved ones.
We've created now the platform upon which we're going to build the next chapter of our organization and of our products.
The way that it worked was downright inspiring. That there's continuity that we can have in the world about all the three things that we do: work, learn, and live, right? And that continuity led us to someplace newer and better.